Welcome in. Welcome in. All right. So it's it's Friday, y'all. Friday. So I said yesterday that we do a stream once a week. Fritzy's help desk. And so let me pull up Discord. A buddy of mine from the regiment Discord who has a rather old PC reached out to me the other day. Because we all play Gray Zone. And before this last patch, or at least the one that they're testing, it's a little labor intensive, resource intensive. So he asked because he has an older PC with a RTX 2000 series video card. Should he just upgrade his PC? Sorry, should he just upgrade his CPU? Or should he just buy a new video card? Knowing that he's not going to buy a brand new PC until after the first of the year. They're running a few sales or whatever else for back to school, and he was considering it. And I was like, you probably get a little bit more out of it if you just update your CPU because your CPU's old. Because it wouldn't have to go up on another motherboard. He could just, that's the really cool thing about the motherboards versus consoles. So if he's running, do AMD because AMD is easier. If you're running AMD 4 with a 3000 series CPU, you can just buy a newer one, buy a 5000 series CPU. And it doesn't matter whether it's a 5, 7, or 9, as long as it's an AMD 4 series processor and your motherboard can support it. You buy it, you bring it home, take the cooler off, pop the lever, take your CPU out, put the new CPU in, put the cover back on, thermal paste, put the cooler back on. But regardless, you shouldn't have to do anything else. You shouldn't have to buy new windows, shouldn't have to do anything else. You should just be able to replace the CPU. And then your PC will run a little bit better. When I was running the Intel, and I bought my Intel, and we're going to go to CLX Gaming, which is where I bought my first PC from. Well, that's not true. My first PC was in the 90s, and I got it from Gateway. But we won't talk about that. When I bought because I had a couple gaming laptops and a couple other stuff, but when I bought my first actual real gaming PC, I had it built. We were during COVID. None of the stores were open, so I had it built. I had it built specifically and there's plenty of builders out there, but I bought from CLX Gaming because CLX Gaming's guaranteed from when it was built, it would ship within 8 to 10 days, and so they got my money. And so we went to CLX Gaming, we had one built. But to save money, I bought a older generation CPU. I bought a 10th generation. And then I bought a 3070 video card. And I found later, while I was trying to stream COD and other stuff, that the 3070 was not compatible with the 10th generation. Well, some of the articles that I read were not compatible with the 10th generation i7. And so, had I found that article a while ago, right, I wouldn't have thrown so much RAM in my PC. I was like, I'm not getting the frame rates I'm supposed to get, so let me fix it. Let me just throw more RAM in my PC. And so I bought more RAM to the point where I bought 64 gigs of RAM for an i10. Wasn't fixing anything. 6 months later, I put an 11th generation CPU in there. Fixed it just like that. And then I had a really good 11th generation i7. 64 gigs of good RAM. And lots of freaking memory and stuff. Then thing flew. So, saying that, what do we want to do? Do we want to build this guy a freaking CPU? Because really, if you buy the right motherboard and you buy M.2 slots, you don't actually have to put any SATA cables in or any hard drives or any of that other shit. Or do we shop around like places like Newegg? Used to be the other store to buy what was Tiger Direct. Tiger Direct doesn't do anything other than business stuff anymore. We go to like Newegg or Walmart.com, brick and mortar Walmart. Do we just buy a gaming PC there or go to Costco or whatever else? So we'll look at that. I have, I'm pretty sure that if you guys pop in, I'm pretty sure where's chat? Chat's over here. I'm pretty sure my channel points will still work. We're looking at my desktop. I have chat on my desktop turned off. So I will look between the two screens so I can keep up with chat on OBS because I pulled it over to the left-hand side so I could see it really close to the middle monitor split. But we'll test it real quick. Go and screw it. We'll just use a command and see if they work. Let's just drop the dragon in the channel. Maybe sort of kind of. There he is. There's Spot. All right, so Spot works, the channel points work, the commands work, whatever else. It's just not on my desktop right now. All right, so let's go to CLX first. CLX is where I bought. Again, from when you have it built, from when you pick out all the parts. You pick out all the parts. You pick your tower. You pick everything out, and then for when it's built for you, ships out 8 to 10 days. Comes to your house. If you pay for expediting shipping, you can probably get it faster. Cheers. Let's turn it up a little loud. All right, so set that low. So CLX Gaming, they have. No, we have CLX Gaming. We have it knows issues. We have Paradox Customs, which is the other tab. They're affiliated with Regiment. So there's a code. You go to regiment.gg. They're affiliated with Regiment. There's a customer coupon code. And so if you go, because I'm part of Regiment, if you go through Paradox, you save 10% or whatever. Whatever the percentage is, and we can see as we build one from there. All right. So my first PC I bought off of the CLX set frame. But from here, so the choices have changed. 2 years since I bought my PC. 2025. 3 years since I bought my PC. They have set. Don't use set. They have fixed towers based off of the set, the Scarab, the Horse, and the Raw builds. But based off of what you're looking for, what your price range is, like I went with the set and got a more expensive case. And so we'll go over that stuff. So there's your CLX set up to AMD X870 or an Intel Z890, which are the better boards. Up to an Intel Core Ultra 9 or an AMD Ryzen 9 9950X3D. Up to 256 gigabyte of 6400 megahertz memory. Up to NVIDIA RTX 5090 or 9070 XT by AMD. And up to 360 millimeter closed loop CPU cooling, liquid cooling. I say all at the low price of $599. You're not getting the top specs for $599. I don't care what fucking planet you're on, so don't think that shit. But you can mix and match peaches. And if you get low end stuff, you could probably get a new PC that you could then upgrade 6 months to a year later for $599 or higher. Damn it. All right. That's the set. The Scarab is a small form factor, like the Bug, but that's high-ender stuff, and it's going to run you starting at $1399. So as between the two, between a regular or mid-tower to a small form factor, I might go with the set because it starts at $599. My starting set for a small form factor Scarab's Sorry. Going to run me $13.99. All right. So your mid-tower gaming, mid-tower PC. If I start with the Horus, my lowest price CPU is going to be $15.99 and up. And then if I go with their raw, their top of the line, their builds, then it's going to be your high-end gaming PC is going to start at $23.99. So if your budget, let's say, is $2,000, you're not starting with a raw. You're starting with a set and building up to a raw. Otherwise, you can compare all their desktops, customizable gaming PCs. They have ready to ship gaming PCs. So there you go. You're going to see a like set with an i5, starts at $12.99, all the way up to they have another set with a Ryzen 7, $14.99. You can go mid-range with a Ryzen 7 9700X, which is what I run. Starts at $16.69. Mid-range, if you want to go Intel, like you can get an i9 14000 series, $17.99. And then their high tier, high performance, starting at a say like set Ryzen 7 7800X 3D with a 9070X video card. It's going to run you $2,200. So it really depends on your price range of what you put in it. Another set for 24, ultra high performance. You're going to do a Ryzen 7 9800X 3D with an RTX 5080. It's going to run you $3,100. Or if you want to go all out and you have it, you get an Ultra Core Ultra 9 with a 5090 and spend $5,400. So really, it depends on what you're looking for, right? That's them. If we go to Paradox, another custom building company, they have pre-builts. So we're looking at Ryzen 5 8600 with 32 gigs of RAM, pre-built $945. See if they have anything else. Ryzen 7 7700X, 32 gigs of RAM, 9070 XT, $2,000, $1995, $5 less than $2,000, saving money every day. Look, right? Product ships within 1 to 2 weeks after purchase. It's literally 7 to 14 days. I like 8 to 10. What are you gonna do? All right, Ryzen 7 9800X 3D, 5070 Ti, 16 gigabyte freaking graphics card, 32 gigs of RAM. That's 6,000 megahertz. Not really 6,000 megahertz, probably 6,000 mega transfers. But that's gonna run you $2,700, right? Not bad. Kind of like that case. Kind of like that case because that's my current case. That's the freaking NZXT H6 high flow, right? I don't even use the back fan. I have the 3 fans. I have 2 fans. So I have the 3 fans on my radiator. I have the 3 fans that come with your case that are RGB. And then I went on Amazon and I bought 240 millimeter fans that one of them died and started rattling. So I went again to Amazon, but I bought Be Quiet 140 millimeter fans. Fucking sweet. I bought a 3-pack for $57, I think. Which I have to check Amazon. And they're wicked fucking quiet. Hence the name. All right. Higher tier gaming PC. We'll start with this one. Really see if it, what do you got in it? So Paradox Customs NZXT H6 Flow RGB pre-built 3 S tier, right? Comes with a 9800X 3D 8-core processor. I only have a 9700X. Comes with a Gigabyte B850 Gaming X motherboard Wi-Fi. Comes with an MSI Mag Core Liquid AI 13 360 millimeter liquid cooler. Comes with 48 RGB RAM, 7200 megahertz, which is pretty good, which is faster than mine. 2 terabytes NVMe solid state drive Gen 4, an NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti, the flow case, the Be Quiet Lightwings LX Fans 3. Let's go. Those are the ones. I think I have the L3As, but those are right there that I would all day long. It has an 850 watt gold ATX 3.0 power supply. It's running Windows 11 Pro. That's pretty good for $2,700. I'm curious. So we're gonna cheat. We're gonna come here, and we're gonna see how well Paradox Customs prices are. So they have NZXT H6 Flow RGB because it comes with the colored fans, black or white. White, however, if we want to build a white build versus a black build, white's just on sale for $99, but it's a $134 case all day long. It was $99 when I bought it because they are having the sale where black was on sale. So we're going to do a white build just because we say, well, apples to apples. Theirs is black, ours will be black. Add that to cart. All right. So we need a motherboard. Now we'll see how close we can get. We'll run AMD. AMD 5 motherboard. All right, so they're using the 9800 X3D, right? They are. So let's buy that one. $479. We need an AMD motherboard. Let's see what we got. All right, so if we're just apples to apples, they're doing a Gigabyte B850 Gaming X motherboard Wi-Fi. Gigabyte 8050M Gaming X Wi-Fi 6E 169. So let's add that to cart. All right, what else are they running? They're running 48 gigs of RAM. Now, I'm particular. I have a favorite flavor. Kingston Fury. I like Kingston Fury RAM. I'm looking for the Beast DDR5. And I want at least 32 gigs. They're running 48. DDR5 6000 mega transfers, PC 5 4800. And so I would grab these only because while researching for my PC, there's a sweet spot for these processors. Let's go here and go add that to cart. Then we're going to save a little money because we're only going to do, well, we're not going to save a little money because we're putting 64 gigs in versus 48. Just run to the cart real quick. We're already at 1,000, so trying to beat them. But we're going to look at processor. See if we get to specs. I actually have to go. All right, so specs. Operating frequency 4.67 gigahertz. Max turbo frequency 5.2. Memory types 56, 6000, 64, 76, 82, 84, 86, 88. So this is a change from when the 9700X came out. The sweet spot for the RAM was at 6000 mega transfers. So it's great that they've changed it and you can use more. But AMD tends to be really well at a set number as opposed to Intel that likes wicked fast RAM. So I'm going to stay 6000 mega transfers. That's the sharpening card. All right. We'll go back to the card. So as it sits right now, we have a case. We have our motherboard. We have a processor. They're offering 48 gigs. We're giving you 64 gigs of RAM. Now, the video card that's in here is RTX 5070 Ti. So what do we got? Well, we search for the same shit. All right, so we're on the black. So I like this one. All right, so let's look at them. The 5070 Ti looks a lot like my 4070 Ti. Let's compare that one. They have been here before. We'll take this off, and this off, and this off. All right, so what's the difference between a 5070 Ti and a freaking 5080? $720. Am I doing that right? $320. So if you spend $320 more, you can get a 5080 for $1,200. Now, find this. If we want to go 4070 and not 50, right? I get a 4070 Ti for $1,200. So I don't think I can get my expert or my super for that. But we will all run around same price. Asus ROG ones tend to be a little bit more expensive. But let's go. Where are we at? Here's the tough. So let's compare the tough. So 4070 Ti, right? 16 gigs, DDR6X, 5070, 16 gigs, DDR7, GDDR7, PCI 5, right? 5080, same, 16. So all three are 16 gigs. Two are PCI Express 5, one's PCI Express 4. Now the 5080 and the 5070 and the 4070 Ti are around the same price. So let's just look at them. All right. We have boost clock, 2580 megahertz. Well, the 4070 does 2640, 5080 does 2715. CUDA cores, 5070 does 8960. 4070 Ti does 8,448. 5080 does 10,752. More cores. They're running around the same core clock speed, 2580, 2610, 2715. You have tensor cores, 5th generation. This could be 4th generation, 5th generation. They're all 16 gigs. FS Brain, welcome in. You're the first one here. We're just going over parts and shit while I try and price out a build for a buddy. How are you today, sir? Yeah, a buddy from the regiment reached out to me, being an IT guy. And he wanted to know whether he should just piecemeal his computer, try and fix his computer so he could run a better game, or just upgrade it the first of the year. So I figured we'd compare. And so I went to Paradox, went to CLX Gaming, which is where I bought my first PC. Yeah. And then I went to Paradox Customs because I'm a member of the regiment at regiment.gg. And and you see below, and as a regiment affiliate, right? You can use regiment's code to get you a freaking discount if you need any computer parts. Or new computers or whatever else. So if he's gonna go, he's also a member of the regiment. And so if he's gonna go buy a brand new PC, if he's either gonna, the two things we're gonna look at in the series is store bought versus build, and or custom built for you, build it yourself, or just buy it from Walmart. Walmart, Newegg, anyone that's got a pre-built. I'm not picky. I'm not affiliated with anybody, so fuck them. Right? But I was just going through, and so we looked up at Paradox Games or Customs, and so for this one, for they just round up for basic math, $2,700. Ryzen 7 9800 XD X3D. We're using the same motherboard on the Newegg build that Paradox Customs going to put out. We're using slightly more RAM. We'll put a NVMe solid state drive in. More than likely, we'll put two in. One around, if I can find it. They're really hard to find, but if you can, 500 gigabyte C drive for your operating system and whatever else you need local. Other than that, because if you put a terabyte in, you'll fill it. Everyone fills it. Because when you default install, it normally goes to C drive anyway. So I always point it where I want it. But I'm running. I have a Asus ROG Strix motherboard. Open box when I bought it too, by the way, so it was a little less. But it's got 4 M.2 slots, so I run I had a 500 terabyte. 500 terabyte. Fuck. I have 500 gigabyte. All right, I don't want to misquote me. I think I left it in my last PC, to be honest. Go to PC. Yeah, so I ended up buying. I had a spare 1 terabyte, and so I did a C drive 1 terabyte, and I have 570 gigs of memory used. Or sorry, I have 500 gigs free of 1 terabyte. And I tell you, man, like I put shit on C drive all the time, and I have to stop myself from doing it because that's where my OS runs, and I need that to be as fast as possible. And the easiest way to do that is to leave space. My D drive, however, I have 1 mechanical hard drive. That's my E drive, and it's 4 terabytes. And it's what I save OBS on, is what I save other stuff on. When I build shit in DaVinci Resolve, it's where my videos are stored, because everything else is running M.2. Or I have a Samsung solid state drive. I try and keep everything I'm going to use on the flash memory, games, that type of stuff, because it read-write speeds are so much faster. OBS doesn't require that type of speed, so it's on a mechanical drive. DaVinci Resolve doesn't need that type of speed for where I save my videos, and so that all gets sold to the mechanical drive. But yeah, so my personal PC that I built last September for my birthday, 1 terabyte C drive for my operating system. I had stuff on my other PC I just ripped out and put in this one. And then I bought a couple other things. I bought the 1 terabyte M.2, a 4 terabyte M.2, and another, and I've upgraded over the year, another 4 terabyte. So I got like 13 terabytes in my freaking gaming PC. I think I have enough space. But I didn't get it like that from when I built it off of parts from Newegg. I had used it. I had taken it out of the last PC. I'd upgraded it. And so that's the cool thing about having a PC over a console, in my opinion, is you can always upgrade it over the year, over 4 years, over whatever else. So I'm trying to get the guy to upgrade his shit at a reasonable price too, because you know we can all throw $5,000. I'm not a fucking sponsored streamer. I don't have $5,000. Shit, the federal government is closed. I happen to be I'll be honest, I'm a federal employee. I'm currently not making any money. I keep withdrawing out of my fucking retirement in order to pay my mortgage. But what are you gonna do, right? You do what you can until the job money flows. Anyway, I digress. PC stuff. Computer parts. All right, so video cards, right? Because he's gonna need a video card, or we buy him or he buys himself a motherboard with onboard graphics. Now, if you get buy a motherboard and it doesn't have onboard graphics, then you buy a dedicated video card. If you have one with integrated graphics and they're actually good, you can limp along without buying yourself a powerful freaking video card. You can save some money, and then 2 months, 3 months, 4 months down the road, you buy a really nice card. But I was just looking. So mine isn't. This is just a 4070 Ti. I happen to like the MSI, the new ones with the push-pull fans versus 3 standard fans. I really like my video card. I'm really toying with the fact that I want the new 5080. All right. So I lied before. I said I don't. Well, I'm not affiliated with anything. However, if you're in the US and Canada and you have access to Newegg has a trade-in plan for CPUs and GPUs, and they will. You can't use it if you have store credit card. But if you use your own credit card, your own debit card, and you buy something, and you have a lower end GPU or CPU, they will give you trading credit. And when your part comes, you swap out the old part, you box your shit up, you send it back to them, and as long as it works, they will credit you. So if I take out my video card and I buy a 5080 for $1,200, my 4070 Ti, because I've looked, they'll give me $620 credit for it. It then turns the 5080 into a less of a price than the 5070. So, knowing that, I want to upgrade. Knowing I technically don't have a job is stopping me from upgrading because I don't have. Take $600 off of $1,200. That's still $580 I have to come up with that I don't have. There we go. Donate to Fritzy so Fritzy can get a new freaking video card that he doesn't need. Right? He just wants it because it's fucking new and shiny. But going back. But if I get the new one, I get art graders for free. Otherwise, the effective memory clock speed of a brand new 5070 Ti is 28 gigabytes per second. The 4070 Ti is 21 gigabytes per second, so it's a little slower, but who gives a shit? Is it really going to make that big of a difference? And the new 5080s are 30 gigs. So if we just go back to the whole Paradox Customs is going to stick a 5070 in it, right? Then why don't we just say fuck it and put a 5070 in it? Now, I like this freaking version better. That's the other thing we go over. I have a 4070 Ti by MSI. Now, this is dope. If you don't have one, maybe you can get one. And the 5070s Ti's are $849. So much cheaper than it's probably $100 less than what I paid for mine last year. But with supply chain issues and most places fucking jacking prices up based off of tariffs and whatever other excuse they can to make us pay more money. My 47 Ti is like $1,300. So if I take it out and sell it, I could make money. But that's too much damn work. All right, so you have the standard video card setup. It is normally 3 fans. Pull cool air across the heat sink and cool your GPU down. This is a little different. This is the new Expert Super version by MSI. This fan on the bottom always spins. This is you don't see this. This is facing down. So it's always cooling the heatsink. However, this is actually open. And so you're still getting cool air being pulled through, because it's just mesh, to the heatsink to cool that down, because the heatsink's pulling all the heat off of the GPU anyway. The other cool thing, let's see if we get this one, is this. So it's a push-pull. And so what happens is when you start playing high-duty games, I wouldn't upgrade just one generation. Yeah. But it's built a little different. Anyway, this one's got a fan on top. Push-pull. So it pulls the warm air out of the video card. So not only are you blowing air out the back, you get the air from the bottom. And then when you play games like COD, the top fan spins. When I'm not streaming, or I'm not playing Call of Duty or whatever else, the top spin doesn't ever spin for me, or hardly ever. It's spinning now because I have 5 tabs open and OBS is running and everything else is running. So I get the top fan spinning. But normally if I'm just sitting here watching Netflix or whatever on my computer, the bottom fan is enough to keep the GPU cold. I don't have a problem. As opposed to my last 3070, the fans would be spinning all the time. And then when we would play rough games, they would just freaking make noise. This GPU is wicked quiet. Here, I won't make any noise. See if we can hear it. Can't hear anything. So it's my new favorite build as far as they go. Pretty nice setup for the new style MSI video cards. But yeah, so we stay with the 5070 Ti. They say 5070 Ti. I kind of like this build, so I'm biased, as they say, and so that's the one we're going to put in. It's only $849. So our current cart is set at $1,800. Now, yeah. Stop trying to put shit freaking codes in. So right now we got a box. We got the same motherboard. We got a video card. We got processor, and we got RAM. 48 versus 64. I could probably find 48. So Paradox is going to give you for the low price of $2,600. I'm $800 short. Stuff we still need. We need a processor. We need a CPU. We don't technically need fans. If we buy the right AO cooler, we don't need to buy any more fans because the box comes with fans. Do we do right? All right. They look like Leon Lee. The picture's wrong, right? They say they're running Be Quiet fans. I have Be Quiet fans. This picture looks like Leon Lee fans. So it'd be really nice if they'd actually show you what you'd be getting versus, hey, get this, but we're not going to give you this. Instead, it's going to be coming with an MSI Mag Core Liquid A13. It shows a Leon Lee in the picture. Shows it's a freaking tough GeForce RTX video card. This one says it's NVIDIA 50, so it could be. But maybe they go find, there's the other problem with the Celix Gaming. I just said I wanted a 3070. I didn't tell I wanted a specific brand 3070. And so they just they showed me one and just slipped in whatever 3070 they had when I bought it in 2022. 2021, sorry, 2021. The other PC is 4 years old. So that's the other cool thing. The only thing that they're showing correct here is the fucking case. And honestly, my fans don't look like that. There's no where this light is here on the side. That's not what the fans look like inside the freaking H6 case. So it's a misrepresentation in my opinion. But hey, who knows? Maybe it'll come exactly like this and I'm just full of shit. It's happened before. All right. So we need RAM. We have RAM. We need hard drive, and we need a power supply, and we need a cooler. 3 things. And we're done. Let's see if we can stay underneath $800. Let's see if we can beat them out. Sorry, it's $1,900. $700. See if we can get it done for $700. So we need a power supply. And so we can put in a 1,000-watt MSI MPG fully modular gaming, 80 gold for $149. We can put in this MSI 750 GL 750 watt. They're gonna put an 850 watt in. Here's a 1200. Here's PCI 5.1 ready. That'd be good for your new video cards. But this 119 is 850. So are you okay with, I mean, Corsair's 134. So for 134, you got a 850 watt. And if we just buy M.2, there shouldn't be that heavy load because your motherboard is going to be the one that actually processes that powers your M.2 cards anyway. So that's 119. Let's go. Doesn't have to have freaking color because, to be totally honest, I can't see my power supply. So if my power supply has color, it gives a shit. I can't see it. Condition we want new. We only want new. I don't give a shit about sponsored. New. Want it sold by Newegg if I'm going to go off of Newegg, and I want it in stock. Right. I'll go 96. All right, so we got 1,000 watt, and then we don't have to upgrade later for 149. We got 750 for 96. We don't want a 650. They're going to give us an 850, so we want to stay around that. At least that. Especially because we're putting a 5070 in it. There's 600 watts. There's 850. That's white. You can't really see white, but who gives a shit? All right. So here's the dilemma, right? So if I go with MSI, the MSI 850 GS is 119. Server grade capacitors though, 10-year warranty. You got me on the 10-year warranty. Because I don't have to fucking buy a warranty. But if we come up here, the Corsair for 189 is 850. Platinum grade, but whatever. 169. Add to cart. See if it makes a difference. All right, so now we got power supply. They're gonna give me 850. I'm doing 1,000. Plenty of room in this sucker to fucking upgrade. Right? We'll see. So we're at 2,000. we need, and we might actually have to lower some stuff because we want 2 M.2 solid state drives. Or in the beginning, we give you 1. Then you can always upgrade it. But again, in stock. And if you don't want to buy it, if you can find it somewhere cheaper, you don't want to buy it from Newegg. You ain't got to buy it from Newegg. That's the cool thing. You buy all the parts, you have everything sent to your house. As soon as all the pieces are there, you can freaking build it yourself. We need memory and we need an AIO cooler. And we want to make sure our AIO cooler has fans because we don't want to buy fans. Our current freaking NZXT only comes with the 3 fans in the case. Now, there is 2 spaces at the bottom for fans. So you can always do that. You have the 3 fans on the side. You can just do this other cool thing. You just do a fan. You want to save some money. You don't have to put an AIO cooler in. You just put a freaking regular heatsink in with 2 fans. You'd be good to go. But we want it to look cool. I like Western Digital Black myself. This is really made for gamers. And look, we get a 1 terabyte Gen 4 PCIe up to 7,300 megabytes per second read speeds. On sale, $89. Now the board, go here. We got to check on that. I want to say it's a 5. There you go. Connectivity, PCI 5, 2 M.2 slots, and USB-C. Yeah. Come down here and go to specs. We want to make sure we got the right side of the right stuff. So the CPU type is 07, 8, or 9000 series, up to 256 gigs. M.2, you got 2 M.2s. All right, so it just has 2 M.2 slots. I don't like that. It's not very specific. Because if it can't handle Generation 5, I'm only going to get whatever the speed is. So if I buy a Generation 5 board, M.2, and it can't do an M.2 Gen 5, it only does Gen 4, then I'm paying for Gen 5 and getting speeds of Gen 4. So let's go to Gigabyte's page, because they'll be a little bit more forthcoming. All right, M.2 slots. 1 PCI 5.0 slot and 1 4 slot. Not that bad. You still get 2. Here's 1 M.2. All right, so it's a basic board. It is not like some of the other high-end gaming boards that have heat sinks for your M.2 cards. However, we are going to put a video card right here, which has a fan on the bottom, or 3 on the bottom, which is going to suck air, which should draw enough air to cool your M.2 slot that doesn't have a heatsink. That is right here on the bottom. So keep that in mind too. So we know we have 1 5.0 M.2, 1 4.0 M.2 slot. So we go here. We'll go by lowest price. Because right now, trying to stay within a budget. We're going to come here and go no heatsink because we have one. So we want without a heatsink. And we want to have current promotion, availability, all top brands used for consumer. Now you do one way. So you got the King Spec P3 solid state drive, 256 gigabyte internal. You're going to need more space than that for your OS. We don't want PCI 3. Let's go 2280. I think is the standard size. It doesn't really matter. The board can handle those 3. It's just where it screws down at. All right, so we got best rating. We'll change it. There we go. PCI 4, right? Internal solid state, $60. So we can get one of those. We put ROS on it. And then we give you something to store games on. And we're going to go 4 terabytes to 8 terabytes. Kingston Fury, 4 terabyte, $470. Still need a fan. So let's go 1 to 3. See if we get 2. 2 is a good round number. 1 terabyte. 4 terabytes. I get a pony. 4 terabytes, 282. That's not that bad. So 4 terabytes. The other one was 470. So let's split. Where are you? Get rid of that. And get rid of that. Let's see what we got at 2 terabytes. Best rating. How about most reviews? There you go. $157. 2 terabytes. Western Digital Black. There you go. So you have 2 terabytes for all your games. 1 terabyte for your operating system. There you go. And then all we need is a cooler and some thermal paste. So we need Arctic paste. There you go. $10. Now you got thermal paste. And comes with a cleaner. All right, so now we need a cooler. And so we can do is it Takmas or Tokmas? Maybe it's Tokmas. Yeah, that's Tak. There's this company, Google.com. I want to say it's Tokmas. Maybe it's TC. They do great. That's a Tacoma. Tacomas? I think that's the site, isn't it? Nope. That's the site because I've been to it before. All right, so these are this company came out and was advertised as CES 2025. Their shit looks dope as fuck. And so We'll go there. The 800 Pro. Buy them on Amazon. This piece pops off. There you go. Tell you your freaking temperature of your liquid. You can put whatever you want here. The fans are pretty dope. But there's your AO cooler. There's your brass plate. There's your water pump, your PCB board. Comes with magnets, a fan, aluminum freaking cover, and then another aluminum cover. It's all in one piece. Then it comes with these fans that just sort of kind of click together. And then your one piece comes on. So it sort of kind of works like the Leon Lee fans. They all just pop together. And then you only have one cable. It's not like the fans that I have. Well, all three of them have all three cables. That's pretty dope. And then if you want to, right, startup animation, you can put your own stuff on there. So if you had your own logo, you could have your logo come on. That pretty, pretty cool. Mine's just an RGB MSI Dragon because I have an MSI AAO cooler. Make it for AM5 and AM4. They make it for LG 1851 and 1700. So then we go back to Newegg. And we see if they have any. Now that we're going to spell it right. There you go. $142. And you can have the LE 100 360 millimeter AIO cooler. Or you can get the Fantix Glacier one. The other, you can get Kraken if you like. The other one that is relatively good, or that I keep hearing, is the Be Quiet ones. Coolmaster is a good brand too. $83. You get a freaking Coolmaster with 3 fans. Really depends on what you want. But let's go. Let's see what they have. Do they only have the one? They do. Be Quiet, Silent Loop, 420. That's not going to fit in our case. 360 will fit in our case for $179. It's got a cool LED on the AIO cooler piece. Black fans. They're not RGB, but to be totally honest, if I look over at my case, I can't see the fans that are on my freaking MSI AIO cooler. AIO cooler. So it doesn't really matter. I can see it now, but how much RGB do you want in your case? So let's go Arctic. And so we get the liquid freezer. 420 is too big. We could just do 2 instead of 3. There you go. So $298. You get the Arctic Freezer 3. 420 is too long. So let's go. Take that off. And apply. And at this point, let's do 96. I think we're going to come in just under Paradise Customs. We don't want featured. We want best rating. And we want 360 because 420 won't fit. So that's got 5 stars for 10 reviews. We're going to get the MSI Core Liquid P13 360 AM5 ready. I'll give you a cool one. Fantix Glacier 360. It's all about, right now, it's just got a cool. Just got to save a little money. For Intel, AMD 4.5. So there you go. So we'll do that. It's $899 after $10 rebate. We get you a cool one. So we go view cart. We have a case. We have a motherboard. We have a video card. We have a 1,000-watt power supply. We have a Ryzen 7 9800X3D. We have 64 gigs of RAM versus 48. We've given you one 2 terabyte M.2 card. We've given you an AIO cooler. Make sure you have thermal paste. And we've given you a 1 terabyte, which we want a 5. We want a PCI 5. We'll see if we can get a PCI 5 M.2. Only because we have a PCI 5 M.2 card. .20 M.2. All right, and so we still have space. So we have a 2 terabyte. We want to come down here. PCI 5, PCI 5.4. Then we're going to see about that 1 terabyte. Open this and just go 1 terabyte. Click apply. Then we get rid of that 1 terabyte 4.0. All right, so Samsung 129 reads up to 14,800 megabytes per second, best for AI computing, gaming, and heavy-duty workstations. Samsung 9100, we don't want one with a heatsink. Western digital black, solid state international solid state drive, PCI 5, 149. Samsung's 129. Samsung's the one we're going to go with. It's $20 cheaper. So we go to a VR cart. Now you're going to have to do a little work. We're going to remove this. So for the low price of $24.15, oh no, hold on, wait, we're gonna beat out here because we didn't buy Windows 11. Now you can talk to FS Brain, you can talk to a couple other people. You don't have to buy Windows 11 for Microsoft. You can buy codes, you can go whatever else. But Windows 11 Home is 138. Pro is 198. DVD OEM doesn't help you. Don't buy a DVD. We haven't bought a DVD drive. Don't buy a DVD. It's not going to help you. No one has DVDs anymore. It's just, there's no real slot for them anymore. PC cases we don't use them anymore. Buy a fucking flash drive. Downloadable content. Buy it. I buy the USB. It's easier for me. Just fucking stick it in the back. Turn your PC on. It fucking installs. How cheap you want to be? You want Windows 11 Home? You want Windows 11 Pro? I like Pro. But we'll add that to cart. Just because they say it comes with it. I'm not buying anything else. So I go view my cart. And so the cart for the Newegg. Case, motherboard, good video card. 1,000-watt power supply is probably over. But we don't have to go looking for it. It is freaking 80 plus gold. Server grade capacitors, ATX 3.1, PCI 5.1 ready, which is good. Low noise is awesome. There's no freaking RGB color. Can't fucking see it anyway in the case. Can we not log in? Can we not put my information on the stream, please? And then the Ryzen 7, that Paradox is going to give you more RAM, more hard drive space, Windows 11. Low price, $25.54 delivered. Depending where you are, because it's not going to do shipping. But estimated shipping is free. There you go. So you don't even have to worry about it. $2,600. Under $2,600. There's $2,675. Boom. Fritz has saved you $80. Yay. Now, they're going to build it for you. They gave you 2 terabytes solid state Gen 4. I gave you 2 terabytes, but you get one 5.0 with 14,000 megabytes per second read speeds, and one 1 terabyte at 40 at whatever it is at Gen 4 speeds. So my build gets you more RAM, gets you better freaking memory. Not as good AIO cooler, but at this point, it's a fucking AMD. And to be totally honest, at a Ryzen 7, at least the 9700X, it's only 105 watt freaking processor. I don't really need an AIO. I can get along just fine with a fan. I had it already. My original set came with 240 millimeter freaking AIO, which I took off when I bought the MSI. Well, when I was building out my birthday present last year, and I bought the Ryzen 7, I took the better AIO out of the old PC, put it in the new PC, and put the old 240 millimeter AIO back on it. Sold it to my son's friend because my son didn't want it. And so he's got a 240 millimeter freaking AIO that's almost next January. It'll be 5 years old. So it may or may not work. Water might leak. It might not cool as well. It's only a Gen 11 freaking i7 anyway. So it's really, I put too many damn fans in anyway. He's running the 2 fans on the AIO. The one in the back is 3 fans. The other one, 4 fans. And then he's got 2 more fans on the bottom. 3 more fans on the 3 more fans on the bottom. So he's got 6 fans and 1 exhaust fan in the back for a high flow case, supposedly. He's got enough fans. His box is fine. And if it overheats, well, he spent more money on a better AIO, right? But there you go. We essentially have PC. Now these guys, what does Paradox have that you don't have? They are going to test it. They are going to install everything. They are going to, I don't know if this includes overclocking, but you get a high tier gaming PC for $2,700 because you pay tax. Newegg, get the same, if not, in my opinion, a little bit better gaming PC, high-end gaming PC for less than $2,600. Could even be less, right? Maybe we take out 64 gigs and only give you 32. Now this RAM speed is slower than the other one, but you get more RAM. Maybe you don't game. Maybe you don't need a Ryzen 7 9000. Maybe you can live with a Ryzen 7 8000, right? And save yourself $200. Probably not $200, probably more like $100. Maybe you don't need this. Show you the other cool shit. So let's go here. If you don't want the XD and you just want the 9700X, right? We just do the Ryzen 7. Here's where your prices change. There's nothing wrong with an AMD Ryzen 5. Nothing. If you put an AMD Ryzen 5 in, and if you put the 9000 series in, it's going to drop it down $200. Right? So we're just going to go. We don't care about cores. We want an AMD. Apply. That's what we're looking at. It has to be a 5. Take Zen 3 off. Takes off Zen. Zen 2. Raven. Pinnacle. Zen Plus. Zen 2. Granite Ridge. Zen 3. That doesn't do any good because I don't know. The Bristol's the newest one, right? That is a new one. Oh, fuck, 33. That is an old one. I stand corrected. Take that shit off. Give me your bum information. Hey, trade in your GPU, CPU. All right. 9700X. Currently $299. We can drop the price by over $100 if you go from a 9700X 3D to a 9700X. Now you won't have the top of the line freaking processor for gaming. However, if you want to get it down, if our price point is $2,000, we're $600 over. I figure out where we're going to cut cost because you got to find $600, right? Well, we had this to compare, and well, we already took that off. Take that off. So there's your 9700X. We'll go. Ryzen 9 5900X 284. Hey, look, see what's free in Epic this week. $7,800X 3D 349. Save you $100. Parts, man, parts. 7700X 294. All right, so let's go Ryzen 5. All I want is the fucking GPU, you bastard. There you go. 9,999 for an AMD Ryzen 5. 5600. 10 grand. Fuck me. 16 gigs DDR4, 1 terabyte. How is this thing 10 grand? 1 terabyte, solid state, RGB 7 fans, Windows 11, home gamer, desk computer. Oh, fuck it. We don't want that one. Let's get rid of that. All I want for Christmas is my two friends. Yeah, I won't. Can we go operations? We only want Windows 11. It's the only thing supported. An AMD socket, that's easy. We got to get AM5 because that's the only thing we have. Our motherboard only takes AMD 5. We can only have AMD 5. All right. So as it sits right now, the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D is $400. We do a 9600X Ryzen 5 219. We drop $200. $200. You Ryzen 7000 series, AMD 5, 158. So if it's down to that, it is an AMD 5 versus AMD 4 because it's 7000 series. We can just do this one, right? We can view the cart. We can come down here. We can leave everything else the same. We're just gonna remove this. And our checkout just dropped to $22.44. But now you got to check, right? But now you have to check because the motherboard didn't change. We can still use this. We still use a RAM. We still use everything else. We just have a Ryzen 5 in it. You still play your video games. You still play COD. You still play fucking everything. Why not? Because at the end of the day, yes, we are only putting in Ryzen 5 7000 series, right? 6 core, 3.7 gigahertz AM5 processor. But at the end of the day, oh yeah, Windows keys should cut some cost. Oh yeah, totally agree. We should totally take I agree. Let's take Windows 11 off because we're going to get Windows 11 somewhere else. It doesn't do us any good anyway. Because until we put the thing together, we don't fucking need Windows 11. Windows 11 is the last thing you need. You put it all together in anyway. So you go get an OEM Windows key. What is it, like $30? $40? Then you save it. So if it's 2000 or bust, you still got to cut out $105. So what are we gonna do that? We take out a RAM. So at the end of the day, we keep this. Here you go. 1965. Delivered. Now, I like them because the Black Series Western Digital ones I was sold when I was looking at better cache and built specifically for gamers. But fuck it, at the end of the day, we're just looking for space to store games and stuff on right away. Or if you can live with $100, right? But at the end of the day, all right, so you can do this. If you're, at least in the States, if you go to Goodwill or the Salvation Army or any of these other thrift stores, you can go look for old TiVo units. They're the original DVDs. They're the original freaking DVRs. Go buy one. Might be able to find MB CPU RAM combo. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Like here, that's the other thing too, right? Because I was just building it off of that. But if you have a Micro Center, they do great deals on all that shit, so you can save even more money. And we'll look at that in a second. But you can just go buy a fucking TiVo or a DVR system for $3 or $5 or whatever it is, even if it's $10. Go home, break the thing open, pull out the 2 terabyte hard drive that's in it. Add that to your freaking build. Use Windows when it's installed, format that fucking drive, and as long as the drive is good, you have $5 2 terabyte freaking hard drive. Even if it's a 1 terabyte hard drive, you only paid $5 for it, $10 for it, right? Until you can get a better one. Just saying. All right, so I like Micro Center because they have deals. We'll just go to the homepage. All right. We go to AMD bundles and see what they got. There you go. Ryzen 5 7600X 4.7 gigahertz. You get a B650E Max Gaming Wi-Fi 2-in-1 combo, $229.99. So if we go back, we don't need CLX anymore. If we go back to our shopping cart, our motherboard's $169. Our old CPU is $158. So that right there is $300. We just saved $80. Or currently at $300. Ryzen 5 7600 X3D, 4.1 gigahertz, B850 plus tough gaming Wi-Fi, $349. $40 more of that $300. We get a better Ryzen 5 gaming CPU. We get a better motherboard. $350. They were having sales the other month where you got for like $500. There you go. 9950 X3D with 2 motherboard upgrade options. 2-in-1. They were running a 3-in-1 combo. I don't want a Threadripper. It's too fucking expensive. You just gotta catch them whenever they're doing their sales. Add G-Skill 32 gig DDR5 for $130. So even if we did this bundle, right? Or this bundle, we could add RAM on top of it for an extra $130. I like the Kingston myself, but you can use it, right? Just make sure that you're using the speed that matches your board and your processor. Right? So if you don't have Micro Center, I know some states don't have Micro Center, some countries don't have Micro Center. Everyone's got a fucking PC store somewhere. I happened to be traveling for work last year when I was building and got to go to Micro Center is fucking heaven. So for where I'm at, the closest Micro Center for me is in Fairfax, Virginia. It is an hour away. It's fucking heaven. So heaven. All right, so this is... All right, so see if it stays. 25,000 items in stock, 61,000 square feet, and that's the layout of the fucking store. Heaven. I mean, if you want Legos, you can go there and you buy Legos too. They have the gadgets and Funkos and everything you could possibly need for your stream. Oh, just saying. I go today, and it's the Funko freaking what are the ones that I grew up on? Zayres or Kmart or whatever else, and they just fucking bought out like a grocery store and put a fucking Micro Center in it. Fuck yeah, man. But we could then go to Micro Center. The only problem with the Micro Centers here is some things they can ship to you and some things they won't. But if you need your computer fixed or whatever else, you just take it to the local Micro Center and they have a team on board, kind of like a Geek Squad. You drop your CPU off and they'll fucking fix it. But there you go. 850 watt MSI power supply, 119. Drops the bill down $30. And so we can have an 850 watt gold power supply to match Paradox, and then we've just lost more money off the build. So really you can do anything. Just, you know, I don't mind having someone else build it. However, looking at the builds now, everything just screws in. And if you stay away from, if you're really unsure, if you stay away from hard drives with cables and you go M.2 and you buy a motherboard with more than 2 M.2s, you could essentially run everything off the motherboard. I'm running, all right, so if I had a chance to build this PC again, I would have bought, let's stay the fuck away from Intel. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Intel other than the fact that like a year ago, CPUs were dying and melting. And for me, I'm not going to trust you after that. Just, you lost me when you wouldn't even freaking do some sort of kind of warranty or whatever else. Intel just put a patch out and said they fixed it. What the fuck? Anyway. We'll go here. I want the godlike. I want the godlike. Anyway. I had this one. I had the 500 MSI MPG Carbon Wi-Fi, or 400 Carbon Wi-Fi, because it's 2 years ago. But I would probably go, if I'm building it out again, I'd probably go with the Wi-Fi. I'd make sure it was AMD and not Intel. But again, this one is the new generation. But just looking at the board itself, here we'll just go. As far as Chinese companies go, I didn't have any problem with any of the MSI boards I've ever had. Products, we'll go motherboards, we'll go AMD. All right, now you go Wi-Fi 7 all day. I don't have Wi-Fi 7. We run Wi-Fi 6 in the house, so be as it was. That's the only one we care about. There you go. Sort by release date. We got Pro Series. So you have the gaming PCs, which like the X and MPG and whatever else, and then you have like the Pros, which is more for video editing and that type of stuff. But can we just go to it and not shop for it? Bullshit. Take me to your motherboard, bitch. All right. I would probably use this one. X70E. Two PCIe 4.0 M.2 slots. You have one PCIe 5. So right there, it gives me 3 versus the 2. It's Wi-Fi 7 and comes with a 5G LAN port. Comes with the USB 40G USB-C port. Memory. I just like the MSI brand. Now I bought into the gamers hype, playing with freaking Velcro. Bought into the hype of the Strix boards. I paid a little bit more for my open box from Newegg, and so there's nothing wrong with the board. Just finding that the Strix brand tends to be more expensive. Could be quality, could not be quality. I like that. That's pretty sexy, I have to say. The fucking clip. I don't have. Ooh. Oh, I like that. I don't have that. I have to spin my little plastic piece. Also, when you're building your board, please remember, if you have an M.2 and you're putting an M.2 on, please peel the plastic on the off your heat sinks on both sides, because you won't get the adequate cooling if you leave the little plastic on your heatsink. You peel your heatsink off. Make sure you take all plastic off, to be totally honest. There you go. Not bad. There are other ones out there. There's just Paradox is the one that's affiliated with RG. I like it, sir. I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm glad that you got to go to a Micro Center. So, moral of the story: I will buy the PC and I will put it together before I pay someone else to put the PC together again. And hey, look, we saved money, $2,700. If we use Micro Center, back to our shopping cart because we changed it, we're down to $2,000. I'll scrounge the $36 for stuff, and we still have the Ryzen 7. Not bad, huh? Ta-da! Having problems. All right. We successfully think we did it. Brain, thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in and shit with love and stuff. We're gonna get some housework done. We've been playing video games and doing shit for our own sanity this week that we've been unemployed or underfunded. I'll probably be on a few after I clean up the house and make life easier on the wife because she's actually going to work and getting paid. I'm not getting paid, so I don't go to work. Just want to put it out here, if you feel like supporting the channel, donations and shit are always appreciated, never expected. However, we are doing something new with subs every time because I'm not a big sour person. Every time we get a sub, we open a new package. Final Boss sour freaking fruit gummies. We'll eat the gummies. They're sour enough. Yeah, I think we got it. So build your own damn. All right, let's dismiss the fucking ad. All right, we are going to open pretty window. We are going to go here. What do you guys want to see next? We can do fun shit like Lumia. Go over how to make it so you can see. So you can see chat. So while we're going, all right, well, let's go here real quick. We're going to open the overlay. This is Google. We're going to open Lumia Stream real quick. We're going to come here to overlays, and we're actually going to turn the overlay on. Didn't turn the overlay on. Here's my right monitor. We're going to click open as HUD. We're going to click open. We click OK. Click shrink. And so now, because you're seeing my desktop, this is what happens. Let's get rid of this. Every time we play other games and you guys chat. So we're going to shout out Brain because we should be better and stuff. Literally likes my desktop. And so Lumia allows me, every time you guys come in and say hello, I'm playing Call of Duty or Black Ops 6 or same game. Battlefield 6, sorry. I can keep in contact with you guys because every time you type shit, it shows up on my desktop. I think that's dope as shit. Where was that when I fucking started? I wouldn't have used anything else. Plus, you get the really cool overlays and shit. Overlays. Like when we go and play warfighting games.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Right? And so we get that shit showing up. It's a little annoying too, shows up on my freaking monitor. Trying to snipe in and then get Lord Farquhar on my fucking sights. Or when we excessively die, you guys can just pop in and tell me where'd it go. I can't see shit. Stewie, Peter Rapp, Buddy Christ, Star Wars. I lost it. Sergeant Slay. You can skull fuck me. It's annoying when trying to do, by the way. And then there's, for 10 points, you can just tell me that I suck. With annoying sound. So, where was all that fun shit when I started streaming? And it's Lumia for the most part is cloud-based, short of the sounds for any of the commands. So I'm really not, it's not taxing on the computer because it's just staying in the cloud. You have to, if you want any of the overlays, you want any of the HFX to have sound with them, you have to download the sound files. But the sound files aren't that big. And then when it plays, it goes, oh, I need to play this sound file that's on the C drive and play it. For the most part, short of running Lumia on your computer, everything else is pretty much stored in the cloud. Um, but what I like is chat on my on my freaking gaming monitor. And if you don't like the layout, you can change the things. If you're gonna stream multiple things, if you're gonna stream on Twitch, you can stream on TikTok, you stream on Kick, you can stream on YouTube. Right now, where the bubble says Lumia Stream, it's purple and it shows the Twitch icon. It'll be red for YouTube. It'll be black or red. Red for YouTube, black for freaking TikTok, and green for Kick. And then it'll just pop up with the username and the icon. And then I'll be able to go, oh, hey, look, someone from Kick is talking to me. Hey, someone from TikTok's talking to me. Someone from YouTube's talking to me. And so I can keep engaged with the whole community. And doesn't matter what platform you're talking to me on, you get talked back. So we go over Lumia. We can go over making overlays. We can go over a whole bunch of other shit. We can go over Meld, which allows you to stream on multiple platforms without a side program like Restream. A whole bunch of other cool shit. But pop it in the Discord. Now that we have a new Discord command. We have to fix this one too, by the way, because this one's wrong. I have to spend a little bit more money. It is not the Iron Garrison. That one doesn't really work anymore. I have to spend a little bit more money and boost the server. So right now the designated invite is invalid. But if you go down and click on the Discord picture on my About page, I fixed that. That'll take you right in. Let's find something to mosey to. Brainy on. Bloopy. Sales is on. Let me go visit sales. It's not at, dumbass. Sales. 75. Thank you for being here, sir. Yeah. All right. We will pop our end screen that's loud and annoying. So we built ourselves on DaVinci Resolve with glitch and sound from other places. We'll go over freaking DaVinci Resolve and other shit too. So if you guys want to do video editing, DaVinci Resolve is free.